Welcome everybody to another episode here in Custom Body Fitness. Today we are interviewing one of our great clients in Glenwood Springs, and this interview is very inspiring. Our member's name is Glenda Cortez, and she says a lot of true things that make you think, such as an example. She talks about how she stays motivated, and you really have to think about how you want to look in the future, like in 10 years, how you want to look. Do you want to be dependent on a wheelchair? Do you want to be hurting? Do you want to be sick? Do you want to get old? Do you want to depend on medicine? What would you like to do? Or do you want to be strong? Do you want to be young? Do you want to be in shape? If you want to be in shape, if you want to be young and strong, you need to start working now before those 10 years pass, because if those 10 years pass and you're not doing the right thing, you can end up in the wrong place. She makes you think that. Also, she mentioned about how women let go because they think they just have kids, their mom, and it is okay to let go. And really, you can still have that young body if you want it, if you pay the price. It's a very, like I said, inspiring interview. So I recommend you listen to this episode and get a lot of information of this episode, because like I said, it's very motivating. So without further more introduction, here is Glenda Cortez interview. Enjoy. At CBF, we know that for you to change your body, you need to change your mind. Exercise and eating healthy is only part of the plan. We care about our members as we care about our family, because our members become our family. It is not about competition, but support. It is not about being the strongest or the fastest, but about you defeating your negative self. It is about working together and making the task challenging and have fun. By the end, what matters is not how hard the session was, but that you take control of your mind so you can take control of your body. My name is Sandro Torres, and I'm happy you are part of our family. Welcome to Custom Body Fitness.
Hi everyone, welcome to Custom Body Fitness. My name is Erick, and I'm the trainer here at Custom Body Fitness in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. And right now we have a member, Glenda Cortez, and she has great results. So we're going to talk about her great results. She lost 20 pounds in 20 pounds of fat, and which is 12% body fat, around 12% body fat. So we're going to talk about how she got those great results. Welcome, Glenda. Good to see you here. Let's talk about your results.
Thank you, Erick. Hi.
Tell me about yourself. Tell me your story. What motivated you to lose the weight? How did you end up at Custom Body Fitness about 8 months ago?
Yes. So I started my journey last December. I took a picture with my brothers, and when they sent me the picture, I was just like, this is not me. I was just like, I cannot even recognize myself. So I was like, I need to do something. I don't feel well. My health started just, breaking down. I was, my jeans were just like tight, and I knew that I had gained a lot of weight, but I didn't know how much. And nobody was brave enough to tell me. So I just got upset with my husband. I was like, why you didn't say that before to me? So I remember trying a lot of diets before. There's a lot of trans diets that they are not helpful at all. So I remember Googling, weight loss programs close to me. So Custom Body Fitness came into that, Google search, and I called Sandro, and I say, I just having a lot of problem losing some weight. I don't feel healthy, and I just trying to find help. So I came to interview with Sandro, and I remember him saying like, we don't offer nothing easy, but it's very possible to do it. So I start coming to exercise on February 5th this year. Yeah.
I remember when you started, at the first month, it was really hard to get those results.
Oh yeah.
I remember we were like losing a little bit, but it wasn't much. But I told you to hang on and to keep working and really figuring things out and really look at what our mistakes were. And you continued to it. You didn't give up, right? So in that process, what made you lose the weight? What gave you the results? What gave you what you were looking for?
I think like a lot of education around eating. I think I lack a lot of knowledge about what protein was, how much my body needs, how much my body needs of, each food group. So I think like even though I start working out, I start feeling very healthy just exercising, and I was doing my best to eat as healthy as I could, but I think it was like I lack the knowledge of what my body truly needs, and I think just breaking down that like how much I want to eat and how much my body really needs to eat every day.
So what exactly did you change in your diet? Because once you started losing that weight, there was a big change in your diet, and before that, it was really hard to lose that weight.
Yeah, I think like I say, I learning a lot is how to eat like an NH group, like protein, like vegetable and carbs. I'm eating more vegetables for sure. I'm putting this like in every meal. Something that I learned is just like I have to eat my breakfast. I have to wait 3 hours before I sleep. I eat my snack. Then I have to wait another 3 hours to eat my lunch, and so on. Through the day. So I don't feel tempted anymore to eat like just randomly. And I think that was something that it was hard at first because I had like this addiction just to eat, just to put stuff in my food. I think there was a point when I was just trying to, eat like at certain times, like I can really feel in my jaws the need to put something. And like it's how easy it is. Just like, okay, it's not much, but you're still putting in your mouth. So I think there was a point that I had to put a straw in my mouth just to relieve the sensation of eating. And then after, I will say like a month, my body started kind of adapting. Okay, every 3 hours she's gonna feed me. So I think that really makes the difference, because before I was like about say a snack, but it was a very heavy snack, like a whole banana, like maybe it was chips, cookies. And I was just like, well, it's just one cookie, it will not hurt me. But it has a lot of, sweet stuff and a lot of processed stuff that my body was just not like able to break down easily.
So eating at your schedule, it was really difficult, right? So that's why you're telling me that you had to eat every 3 hours. You have breakfast, and then you have to wait 3 hours to eat your snack, and then 3 hours for your lunch. So there was an eating schedule you had to follow. Discipline your body in a way that you're not used to.
Yeah.
That, it's effective for weight loss, right? You have to eat your breakfast, lunch, dinner, 3 big meals, and then your snacks in between.
Yeah.
So.
It also has to do the quality of what you're eating.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just like you can say, yeah, I'm gonna have my big meals, but you're gonna eat like exactly what your body needs. Are you gonna be eating like the quality that like if you are eating stuff that are like processed, like, excessively heavy in salt. It's just like, it's not gonna make any good. Like, the quality and the quantity really count.
Okay. So, eating schedule, right?
Yeah.
Quality
Yeah.
of the food you're eating
Mm-hmm.
and quantity.
Yeah.
Right? How much are you eating?
Yeah.
You can't be eating a lot of
Yeah.
good food
Yeah.
because you'll end up gaining weight.
Yeah.
Right? Too much of a good thing is bad.
Yeah. I mean, it can be healthy, but if it's like in a big quantity, it's not gonna help you. And like, I think what you're trying to do is like help your stomach to shrink back, because it just expands as you keep eating. And the body is just amazing because it naturally like to store fat, like when we get sick, it has, enough reserves. So they just like to keep expanding and saving that fat. So like what you're trying to do is just like with the quantity, it's just with the quantity is help your stomach to shrink back and just eat enough what your body needs.
Okay. Yeah. So, and then you said something else about how not eating snacks or not eating chips or not. So really, like you said, quality of food, right?
Yes.
Forgetting about the snacks that are easy, like chips, cookies, anything else you can think of?
I think it just, the fact that food is healthy, that that you're making a better choices with healthy snacks, doesn't mean to have to be bored.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people just think like, oh, I'm gonna start eating healthy, it's gonna be really bored, and I just don't know, like I don't feel like. So I think that it's just like, I think you have to have a mindset like just because it's healthy, it doesn't have to be boring, it has to be very creative.
So I remember when we started and I told you to eat like more vegetables, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about this earlier, but you said you thought vegetables was like potatoes. Give me that example again and tell the public about how you were eating potatoes, rice, and
Yeah, and I think it has to do a lot with the culture though, because it makes sense, like we are learned to eat as much as you want right now because there's not going to be anything else maybe for the next meal. So we just will pack like meats, potatoes, and rice. So like, for me, potato was like any other vegetable, like we will say broccoli. So a lot of my cooking will involve meat and potato. And beside that, I will put rice next to it. So we are eating a lot of carbs right there. So yes, it's healthy, but it was more than my body need at that meal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there was like I said, there is a lot of learning regarding food, and I think that is what has been helpful for me. Just understanding how the food interact in your body and how you combine, the meals. Like I say, everything is healthy, but the quantity makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to learn the portion control, right? What was protein? What was carbohydrates?
Yeah.
What is complex carbohydrates, right? Which now you know. What's
Correct.
the difference between complex carbohydrate and simple carbohydrates, right?
And like I was telling you before, like in snacks, bananas are really healthy. But I was just like, well, they are healthy. I was eating 3 bananas in a day when really my body needs like a half banana, and that equals like an apple. So I was like, well, bananas are healthy, so why not to keep shoving them? And when I truly was having was the addiction to put stuff in my mouth all the time.
So tell me about the program here at Custom Body Fitness, your weight training. How has that helped you in the program that you follow? What is it like?
Okay. First, let me tell you that when I started, I was just like, and I saw all the weights, I was like, oh boy. And I immediately came out, I was like, I don't want to look like a muscly person. I just don't want to look like I look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I was just like, I don't know if this is really gonna be for me. But I thought it was like a good way to give it a try, come and see what you guys have. I think it was first. I really feel like I couldn't lift 5 pounds. You remember, right? Like you gave me like 2.5. So it was like I can really tell my body that I was not in shape. I was just like, okay. I really like how you guys combine, what other places offer, as far as, lunches and that, but, with weight, this is just a little different.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it because it makes you feel more stable, but also it makes you feel like I have a really workout, after each session.
How are your exercises at CPF?
I'll tell you something I really like about here. I really like that you have a color that kind of helped me with my brain. I kind of just like an organized person, and I really like how you guys have like, green color, yellow color, red color. And I really like how every week you guys have a different exercises. I think for me, like if you keep doing an exercise over and over for a whole month, it just became just like boring. So, like I say, with the colors that you guys have, I really like that you have like a specific, exercise for that color. Like let's say in the green, you guys have lunges, and maybe we move into the yellow part that we can work out the abs, and we move into the red area where we can do some, curls there. Okay, yeah. So I think it make it by the time that you do the whole circle, you have a feeling that you have worked different parts of your body.
Do you do anything else besides your workout here?
We are very outdoorsy, per se. Summer is our big time. That is when we do hiking with our family. I quite enjoy walking with my kids. I will say running sometimes when I have, the space. We have busy schedules too, like everybody else. But, any opportunity that we can have outside, it's great for us.
What's an opportunity? Can you be specific?
I would say twice a week. We're trying to aim to be outside as much as we can in summer. Sometimes it's not true. But I will say 2-3 times. The weekends are when we have more space to go out.
Weight loss is not an easy thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Strengthening your body is not an easy thing. It requires a lot of mental help, a lot of have a strong mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you do it to keep a positive mindset, to stay strong, to keep going with your goals and achieve those goals?
Mm-hmm.
When things get difficult or when you feel like giving up, what do you tell yourself?
I think you have to first you have to see like for really in 24 hours you only exercise 1 hour. It's just like when you think about that, it's just not a lot. I mean, yes, it's an hour where it hurts, where your legs hurt, or lifting something that's heavy, it's not easy. But if you think like the benefits that it brings to your body, it's huge, And also, it's just like I want to be the best version of myself. I don't want to compete with anybody, but I want to be the best version of myself. And I know, the right eating will help me with that. And exercising will help me with that. Also, I think I'm just very aware that I'm not immortal. And like anybody is going to get sick. But I definitely don't want to spend my days, depending on medication. Because a lot of, obesity brings a lot of sickness, a lot. Like sometimes it just as you get into the point that it's just like it's affecting your body, you get to the point like I never ever are gonna lose weight, or like I getting sick, I getting worse, and what's the point to go back? So sometimes I think it's just like a perspective. I just want to get older and just be depending, from medicine, and I think that's when you don't have the right eating, you are prone to that.
To summarize what you just said, you think a lot about your results, right? You want those results. You want to become a better version of yourself, like you said, and you want to be healthy. Like you don't want to age and be overweight or weak or depend on medicine to stay healthy, right? So this is a way, and that's what motivates you. And I think it all comes down to that you're not immortal, right? That as we age, we become weaker, and you wanna stay strong for when you age.
Yeah, exactly.
To finish, what is the one tip you recommend people, or one tip you can give people to lose weight?
I think we just have different motivations, though. Everybody's just different, but I think I think just think about how you want to age, how you're gonna look in 10 years from now. And I think it's just like, do I really want to look that way? Or do you want to look, or you want to say like, oh, I used to look that way, when you see someone younger. Oh, I used to wear size 4 or 6, but now I don't know. I just was like, I think there is no age, that you can say, oh, I'm done with myself. And I also, a lot of times, especially for women, would say, oh, I have 3 kids now. I have 2 kids now. You reach that point like, it's fine. I am a mom. It's okay. I already have kids. That nice body that was when I was single. And I was just like, no, you can still have a nice body. You can still work on yourself and love yourself. I hear before where I used to work, it's like, take care of yourself. With the stuff that you like. Like if you are good yourself, you can reflect that in your family too. Because pretty much like we are the center, we're the motor of our families. And if you're not feeling well, how we can, be there for our kids or for our families. So that would be my tip.
Okay, so Glenda, we went over a lot of things that helped you lose weight. A lot of them were your food, staying on a schedule, avoiding unhealthy snacks, right? Eating the right type of food, eating quality of food, and doing your workout, and what motivates you and what pushes you to become better, right? Staying healthy, not to be overweight, not to be in a state where you depend on medicine to be healthy, right? And a lot of things has to be with your presence, how you are right now, right? A lot of people look and be like, oh, I was like fit back in 20 years ago. Like when I was a kid, I used to be really fit. Or a mom that is now overweight, she's like, yeah, before I had my kids, I used to be fit, right?
I used to be this way.
Right?
Yeah.
But the point here is that no matter how old you are, or no matter where you are, you can still make those changes, right?
Yes.
And it's not about where you were, but what you're doing now to get to that place where you need to be healthy and to do the activities you do and enjoy them without any pain, right?
Correct.
Pain. And you said you are the main source of your family, right? Like you keep everybody together, so it's important for you to like be healthy, but at the same time feel healthy, right?
Correct.
Mentally, physically, all of it.
Yes.
Be healthy and be the best version you can for yourself and for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, everybody. I think we got some great points for today. I hope you can follow them and yeah, start changing your life because everything is possible. Good to have you, Glenda.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
So there you have the interview. Very inspiring, correct? So this is what I got from the interview. First of all, educate yourself about eating. It's not about just following a diet. It's about understanding what food you should be eating and why. So it's very important that you educate yourself. Second thing I got is the quality of food and quantity really matters. So get the best food, the best quality, and enough for you to be full, but don't overeat. The next point I got is exercising with weights doesn't make you a muscle person. You don't become Arnold Schwarzenegger. You tone your body, and it's important for many reasons, for your stability, for getting in shape, and so on. So that's the other point. The next is how you want to look in 10 years, right? We talked this in the beginning, and that's another point that you want to be thinking about when deciding to go exercise or when you want to give up. Think about that. Another point is that eating doesn't have to be boring. Make it fun. Be creative when you're cooking. In 24 hours, you only exercise in 1 hour. When you think about it, it's absolutely nothing compared to the benefits that you're gonna get from the workout. The other point I got is be the best version of yourself. So don't think about the past, think about right now and become better. You don't wanna get all dependently on medication. You wanna get all dependent on the decisions that you made before. There is no age when you can say, I'm done with my body. You always have to work on your body. It doesn't matter if you're young, if you're in the middle age, or if you're old. It's important for you to maintain your body. And the last point is, don't say, I used to do this. I used to be in shape. I used to have that body. I used to look good. Because you can still do it right now. So I hope you got as motivated as I did, and you are on fire to go exercise, eat healthy, lose weight, and stay healthy. So apply these tips in your life and get those results that you want. And thank you so much for listening to this interview, and I'll be seeing you the next time.